My FYP is filled with kids that are sharing their Ivy Day decisions for 2025. I love them. I love them. I love them. And the reason I love them is it was 10 years ago that my daughter was that kid that was sitting there waiting to open up her decisions. And it was a crazy day. I was anxious. I was crazy anxious. And she had invited one of her oldest friends to come over and sit with her. And so the two of them were just kind of killing time watching movies. I think they were watching A Fault in Their Stars or whatever that's called, just to kill time. And I was cleaning the kitchen. I'm a stress cleaner, so I was like super cleaning the kitchen. Like we could have eaten off the floors by the time I was done. And I watched as that clock tick, 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 ticked to that point. And then I watched for 5 minutes as nothing, like there was no noise. And I knew that that time frame had already passed, and I was really anxious at that point because I'm like, what went wrong? And this must not have gone well. So I put down my sponge and I went into the living room and I looked at the two girls sitting on the couch and I said, okay, well, and my daughter was white as a ghost. She looked up and she says, Mama, I'm going to Yale. Oh my goodness. And we got up and we were screaming and running around the house and calling grandparents and calling my husband. And it was just such a crazy, amazing night. And then the next day, so this was on the last day of March. So the next day was, of course, April Fool's Day. So she goes to school. We didn't have any merchandise for her to bring. I wasn't that prepared. And I had thought that I would just hop in the car and drive down to Yale to go to the bookstore to grab something if that should be the case. But by the time they got the revealed decisions, the bookstore was going to close. So we just went the next day, weekend. But so she goes to school and none of her friends, none of her teachers believed her, except for, this one friend who happened to be here when she saw the results. And what was really funny was like even some of her closest friends didn't believe her. It's cute because the friend that was here waiting with her is actually one of my followers on this page. And I'll let her step up if she wants to say, Mimi, I was here. But it was such an amazing day. And I remember every moment of it. And so all of you kids that are going through these moments, you're going to treasure them and your parents are going to treasure them. They are all just special, special memories. And to the kids who didn't get what they wanted, my heart breaks for you, but it doesn't end on that day. Those decisions don't define you. The amount of people that apply for these positions are so vast. And one of the things that we were told when we were going into that process is that a lot of very qualified kids don't get into these programs. And it's not because they're not qualified. It's because there's not a whole lot that these schools have to offer you because you are so spectacular. So please take that as a sign that maybe you were just too spectacular and that there's going to be a place for you and you're going to end up being successful no matter what because you successfully got to the point where you were considered. But congratulations. Happy Ivy Day. Boola boola. And you know what? May you all have a great experience in college going forward.